Um, I like doing more like a relaxed,
Cool, yeah.
just fucking hanging out
Good deal.
type deal, you know what I
You
mean?
got it?
So first of all, I really just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Gerry.
Aw.
Like this has been such a phenomenal experience
Uh-huh.
for me,
Huh.
very healing, and I want to honor like all the meticulous work that you've done to create such an experience. The beautiful people that are here facilitating the experience. I'm like, wow.
You know, thank you for coming, dude. And like, you came with your heart open, and you're in the middle of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're not through. You're in the middle, and it's I can see right where you're at. And it's a very interesting place to be because you're unsure of that, and you're unsure of that, and it's a really beautiful, beautiful place to be. And you're right where you should be. You have a beautiful heart. You have a beautiful heart, and I believe a lot of the things that you think are shifting, because when you see something that just doesn't make sense, sometimes it allows it to get in. So you're in that space. You're a very mindful guy, and that's great. You're gonna have an easier time of it than if you weren't. For real, yeah.
Thank you for that reflection.
Yeah, you're a wonderful guy. Yeah.
I appreciate that. And so are you. I feel your heart. One of the things that I've been noticing as you walked around the crew, like how present you're being with everyone. I felt like you really care about the people that you're interacting with, whoever that may be, from your staff to the actual attendees. I didn't see like a difference in your interaction with them, like you would treat someone different than the other.
I'm trying not to.
Everyone, being treated with love and respect and honor, which is great. And one of the things that came up for me after hearing your story, you had mentioned you're $10 million into it.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in like upside down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I thought of was my own money issues with money, and I'm like, fuck, I'm nowhere near that, yet I have such anxiety at times around money and my business and the work I'm doing.
Sure.
Yet I see this gentleman here, that's created this $10 million in, and you seem so calm, so happy, so passionate
I am about that. Yeah.
That, and that just blows my mind because in a world where I work with some really high-ranking people that make really
big
fucking
bucks.
good money, it's very rare to see someone that makes that amount of money that can walk around with happiness, with calmness, with grace, and with love.
Thank you for saying that.
And so I would love to hear, like, how do you fucking do that?
And that's real simple. Is that I realized in 2003 that money had no real value at all. And since then, I haven't. The start of it was then. The plant medicine pushed me into something complete. See, the real value in the buzz for me is the people that come in. So I tune into that, and that makes everything happy. Because the money's going to come. If you get good at something, the money comes. And that's just it. You get good at something, and if you're not completely irresponsible with yourself and the things around you, money comes, and it just comes. You can't even stop it. When you're really good at it, you can't stop it. It just keeps coming, right? So that takes care of itself, and what you got to do is love what you're doing and love that person in front of you and really connect with them, because they're borrowing your, while they're here, they're borrowing your belief, they're borrowing your calmness, they're borrowing your faith. And it's easy for me because I know the end result. So it's very easy for me to lend the faith, because I know it. I know that freedom's Saturday. I know it.
And so having that knowing gives you the
calmness,
ability to just trust in the process, trust in the universe,
and to try to have fun. Try to, I'll say this: I get to meet the coolest, people in the world. I mean, fucking interesting. And it doesn't matter what they do. They can be plumbers or actors or guys who cut the grass or and everything in between. But they're so switched on a quest to reunite with themselves. And that's cool people, man. That's like, you get this cool people. Sometimes I go to Agape or hang around Venice or something, and I see people who look it, but might not necessarily be it. And when you get to a place like this, and everybody who's here is really in that quest, and they're paying the ultimate price to get there, that they're legit. These people are I'd say the children of the shift. This is the people that are doing this shit. You know, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice to be around them too. They're nice to be. It's a sweet place.
That's part of my anxiety of going home. Is like, you know, I don't have this at home to the degree and the level that I have it here. You know, that level of connection, the openness, the trust, the love, the fun. You know, and that's who I am. I'm fun, but that's been missing out of my life recently. It's just been about the grind and you know, achieving my dreams.
Right.
And so I envy you in that regard, that you get to be here and experience that level of connection and love and be with such great people that are like-minded on the same path. It's like,
it's beautiful.
That's
stuff.
Amazing.
And I'm proud of that. I want to say this: at 30, I wasn't anywhere near there. At 38, I wasn't anywhere near there. So you being here puts you way ahead. Way ahead. And when you go home, like, this is what I always tell people, is that a lot of the decisions we made in life to become something were done from a splintered self. They were done from a fragmented self. A lot of the things. And going home remerged, you get clarity around what of those things are yours, and what of those things are of the actor who's no longer you. And then all of a sudden, the things that you're clicking in with, you all of a sudden get a fighter pilot, live or die, take no prisoners, I'm going to get that thing. And when you get that, the fear of not getting it goes away, and you're all of a sudden you're in flow. Because it's just you and it. It's just you and the thing that you want. And you even know that you want it, and not need it. And then it's a carnival.
I tried that on for a second. It was like, what would that world be like? And I imagined it, and I felt this sense of calmness, and you know, like, I have such drive.
You're driven.
And where it comes from right now is like, there's a little bit of fear that drives that to try to fill the void. You know, but when I tried on what you just shared and those insights, I'm like, that's.
What if the fear was gone and it was just you and it? You're at your own party.
Hell yeah, I'll take that all day long.
You're at your own party.
All day long.
Yeah.
You know, as I've been going through the ceremonies, Alan and I have been like this, you know, and we've been researching stuff and just like looking into things, and it's like, there's some shit going on here, man. Like, what the hell is going on? And I didn't know that Alan had these like capabilities and this gift of like being able to take little clues and puzzle pieces and whatnot. And so we've been talking about it, and you know, I create transformational experiences now for high-ranking people like Alan. Okay, and part of what I know to be true is the environment and the container that they're in is incredibly important.
Absolutely.
The placement of, I mean, everything speaks. These crystals speak that you have here. This board speaks. The plants speak. Everything speaks.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful
so
insight, though.
In knowing that and coming here and looking at it, like, what's behind the fucking veil here, and the placement of the statues and the hammocks and you know how the grass is laid, like all these little things, I'm wondering, like, to what degree is Gerry like
we were in a lot of that.
Yeah?
We were in a lot
so
of that.
tell me a little bit more, like, can you give me kind of what have you thought about that most people aren't aware of when they come onto these grounds in terms of placement of different objects?
Statues triangulate the Maloka. The Maloka is an airship. When you fly over it, it's shaped like an airship. We believe there's a portal of some type over that. And even the things that I did by mistake, on certain journeys, it would be pointed out to me that it was on purpose, after the fact.
So you didn't do it intentionally.
Some I did, and some I didn't.
Okay.
Like where I picked the placement of the first Maloka, I didn't know there was going to be 4, but I did. Do you know? You know what I mean by that? I don't know if that even makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, because I put the one in the corner so I could move the other. It was just a strange placement for the first one. It was ridiculous, right? But it all did it. Then the statues, and then even the day that I bought the statues, some of the statues, I was on a different plant medicine, and I never knew anything about Easter Island or any of that stuff, and I saw one of them on the plant medicine, and the next day I'm driving down the PCH. You can't make this up. Down the PCH in Malibu, and on Topanga Canyon Road at the corner, there's one for sale, and I'm like, holy shit. This ain't Easter Island, this is Malibu. I gotta get one, I gotta get that. Then we brought them, and then Jeff and I used to take journeys all the time and just ask questions. What should we paint? What color should we paint the place? Where should this be? Where should that be? How many classes a day should there be? All kinds of stuff. Who's the programming? Who should we invite? Because when we first got here, we thought Michael Beckwith would never do this because, dude, he's too important of a guy to come out and say, yeah, I'm down with a place that does psychedelic assisted transformations. Like, that's a big step for a guy. At the time, I think he was Oprah's spiritual advisor, and he was blowing up everywhere, and like his congregation was growing like crazy, and there were a lot of Christians in it too. You know, there were a lot of Christians in his congregation. I thought, oh my God. So the medicine said, no, call him. So I called him, and on the phone he told me, yes, he's down. Like, it didn't even take a meeting. Crazy stuff. So here's what I love about you, and you have a softness in you, which when I say softness, that you can soften to life around you. Sometimes we get hard, and as soon as we're hard, we can no longer feel life around us. We're a piston then. And we can't be a piston. We have to be a piston and a cylinder to accept. We have to be both.
Masculine and feminine.
We gotta be. We gotta be. And as that, you get the understanding that all of this life is interconnected and we're connected with it. And then you can chill out a little bit and say, well, wait, you know, if I know, and it's hard in the business world, but I want you to try it, if I know this person is not going to hurt me or try to get the best of me, and I hold them in their God space, they never do. And they never do. It's when you go like this, when you walk into the room like this. We're coming for a fight. When you come as if to the toughest guy, toughest woman, some of the honestly in business, some of the roughest people in business I've met have been women. Very dun. And when I come in and just know that they're out for our collective highest good, and act that way, they can't flip on that because they want to be that. So I connect with the love, and you can't do that being a piston. It's hard to do. You know?
Oh, it's so deep what you just shared right now.
Crazy, right?
It's crazy, and what came to me as you were sharing that is right now I'm working with heart math.
Great stuff.
Man,
fantastic.
I'm just so like grateful to be there. And what I learned is that, you know, when we are in coherence, we affect the field
I
around
believe
us,
that so much.
we can bring other people up into coherence. And so when you were sharing, like, I've met some pretty hard people in the business realm, but when I stand in my heart in coherence and in love with myself and in love with the individual in front of me, it's amazing, like, how they start to soften.
It does.
And how they start to receive, like, whatever is coming through that may not be of their paradigm. And then they're like, oh, this is interesting. And you know, I've worked with Airbnb and Facebook, and it came really quickly to me. Chip Conley, I'm sure you might be familiar with.
I don't know.
He's the head of strategy, or was the head of strategy at Airbnb.
I heard of him.
Schwa Davy.
I heard,
you know, founded that. And when I first met him, you know, like, by the end of the meeting, I was giving a piggyback ride in front of Airbnb. Because I just came in there with, like, you know, no strings attached, no fucking agenda. This is what I'm here to do of service to Airbnb. You know, like, let's have some fun in this process. We had lunch. It was such a beautiful jam. And then we're playing, you know.
That's it. That is it, like, though. That is it.
Yeah.
That is it.
You're totally right about that. I think it's so important in the realm of life in general.
Absolutely.
Yes, especially in business, because we're taught, right, in the past to leave our personal shit at home, and people put on their mask when they go into the office. And you know, it's important to me to help people put their mask down by me coming in with my mask down first.
But I see you doing it. Like, whatever you're learning, you're really putting it into action. What's funny with the plant medicine is that the plant medicine even wants you to go deeper than that. And that's where it gets, because there's a lot of shit in the attic and in the basement, So, like, we want to keep the living room all cool, you know? And then there's all this shit above and below that we gotta clean out. And that's kind of what the medicine's doing. It's letting you see the things that, you know, when you were a kid, were you afraid to go in the attic?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, right? Especially at night, that shit, you know? I want that shit, right? You know, and I mean, like, that's what this is like. We're going in the attic and we're shining lights on stuff. And guess what? The monster up there was just a dust bunny. And we shine light in it, and now it's gone. We shine light in it, and now it's gone. Next thing you know, you got a clean house. And with a clean house, that's this alignment. Man, you're unstoppable. And you know, you can tell someone can come at you. You know, there's this video of an elephant charging a guy, like a guide. And the elephant's roaring at this guy. And the guy turns around and stands there. And the elephant hits the brakes right here and walks away. It's a real thing. So
that's like Neo Matrix,
but
actually, when he stops the bullets.
Really real. That your energy can disengage all that stuff. So this staying in you is the thing, because you're beautiful, man, and you really are. You have a beautiful, beautiful way about you. And even as a kid, if you were a bully or this, you just go back to this stuff and just think of what the source of all this is. The little boy didn't get love from his father, so he comes to school to fuck shit up. But what was it all about? The quest for love. So everything is rooted in this quest for love. So satisfy that, and even the toughest fall. Because everybody's in it for the same thing. Everybody's in it for the same shit. And when you get on the medicine, you get in the astrals, and you see that there really is. It's not somebody talking some fucking metaphysical bullshit. That the thing that holds the whole thing in place is love. And that there's always enough, and it's always there. Wow, man, that makes some shit pretty easy now, huh? Yeah.
You make that sound so fucking easy.
Because it is.
It is. On the conceptual level, I understand that. But in practice, for me, it's easy when it's not my girlfriend. So
and it's easy when it's not that important, or it's easy when it's distant from you. But I'm going to tell you something, Jay. So we're in Wednesday, we're in Thursday, yeah? So tonight is the pivot night, and then Friday's the lock night. You'll see that by Saturday, and this is, do you want to feel super together, or because we're men, super masculine? to be completely unbotherable for a while. You want to talk about power? Do you know the power to just sit and be with somebody who's upset with you, just did something wrong, just made a mistake, and just be, but just be. Watch what that feels like. It was like wild.
I'm like, this is really deep for me because I have a 3-year-old. Her name is Indigo.
Oh my God!
And she's
you must
watched,
love her so much. Yeah.
We have watched, or she has watched, her mother and I go at it for the last 4 years since we've been together. And what I realized is that Ashley, my girlfriend, she's had a very traumatic childhood, like many of us. And with holding that trauma, it comes out in really dark ways. And same for me, you know, we've gone throwing blows at each other, you know, on a physical level, psychological abuse, like all of that. And what I recognize now is like, okay, it's not because she fucking hates me, she's still here. You know, it's because she just needs to find a way to like express and bring that shit out. She gets triggered, her trauma gets triggered. But what I haven't done, Gerry, is be the unbothered, unwavering, you know, space of love for her.
And that's what she needs.
And that's what she needs so that she can step into
her
being
space.
The queen that she is, you know? And so that's what I came here for. Because my daughter, I know in order for her to attract the man and people in her life that will love her and honor her and respect her, I get to model that with her mother.
Absolutely.
And so I came here for that, to understand how do I become that unbotherable individual, the space for love for Ashley, so that she can go through her shit and release it, and then I could imagine, I'm imagining that place.
But you're right there. You're right there. And the beautiful thing is that the woman, your love, she really loves you, dude. And the thing is, she's been waiting for you to do something so that she can respond in a different way. That I get that whole dynamic. I'm seeing the whole dynamic of that, and trust me, it's going to be a different thing. You have to let go a little bit more tonight. You have to let go a little bit more, and you're gonna. And the guy who's coming tonight is going to be amazing for you, because you know what's at stake? Everything. That little girl is everything, right? So what's at stake is everything. Everything. Beautiful, right? Who doesn't want to play in the big game? Everybody does. Yeah. Tonight's the big game. Beautiful stuff. And is the mom in entertainment? Or?
Yeah. She has CBD infused body products called Sacred Beauty. You know, she's a healer herself. You know,
beautiful stuff. Yeah.
And so she's on her journey right now, just about a year and some into it. You know, going through her struggles. You know how it is in business, man. Jesus. And so I've been supporting her, investing in her business, and with so much love for each other, you know. But
I can see
the other side of it is like, rah, I fucking kill you, I hate you, type deal. And you've been through that.
Oh my God,
you
so
know, your
much
relationships
of that.
and
so much of it,
whatnot.
You know? Terrible. You know, terrible. Yeah, and the reconnecting with you is the answer to all things. People always think, you know, let me work on the business, and then I can limp through life, but I'll be rich limping through life, right? That's the thing. Here, let me be with this beautiful woman, and this relationship is going to save this, and it's the exact opposite. I have so many people who come here day one for their children. I'm coming here for my son, coming here for my lover, I'm coming here for my mom. And the whole thing, it's a spiral. It starts with you and it goes out. So this is what we find out. People go home and go, you won't fucking believe it. My mother changed. They call me that. You won't believe it. My mother changed. Well, your mother changed because you were the thing that was holding your mother in that place, and you changed. So you're giving everybody gets a new start. Everybody gets a new start.
That goes back to what you were sharing in terms of like when you walk into doing business with someone, right? And how you show up is going to dictate or influence, I should say, how the other person shows up. Same goes for your family.
Same exact thing.
Really the thing there,
Same,
right?
and here's the funny thing with your family. People have done all kinds of workshops and they come home and the family looks at them and go, I don't believe this shit. It's not real, da-da-da-da-da. When there's a real change, when there is a real change, they can tell by looking at you if that has changed. And if it's changed, the unwritten agreement is that the old rules no longer apply. It's inherent in our vibratory senses that when somebody's different, they're not the same person. And if they're not the same person, the rules aren't the same.